Okay, so the first question is, how can HR analytics help in achieving organization goals?
HR analytics is actually about winning in the organization, winning with your people by unlocking the people equation. And it is very critical and is going to be even more critical in the future because this is the future. Data and technology is the future. So how it can really help, I would break my answer. First part, I would like to say that if we are able to, understand what the business problem is and go with an HR analytics solution rather than an HR analytics product, so that brings in value and our stakeholders are also able to understand what the solution is all about, how it can help them in solving some business problem. So it's not that I have a technology and I am coming with some data with you, but for example, a very curated answer to a certain problem. For example, how can I modify behavior to enhance productivity in our minds? So if you are able to bring that kind of a solution, then that's the success of HR analytics.
Okay, great. So the second question, in which HR functions can HR analytics be used?
Well, it's depending on the maturity model of your digitalization in your organization. So it can be used actually. It's over all everywhere, but just you have to know how to leverage it. So more conventional use cases are there in attrition, engagement, also prediction of success. But new use cases are coming up in the softer aspects of the employee behavior. For example, I'll give you two examples. One is like we are working on a model to detect bias in performance management, which looks at the softer aspects because how the performance is managed is by a manager and what goes on in their brains. So we are even using HR analytics for those kind of things. And in the futuristic, we all have seen that how social media has evolved and there is so much data about digital footprint is there. So right from, what offering you offer to whom, especially when you have a lot of employees, then you have to customize your HR offering for relevance to the employees. For that also HR analytics can come into play, and the psychographics piece wherein we go beyond employees demography, we understand what is the attitude, what is the behavior, what is the lifestyle, and then go ahead and offer them curated HR solutions through the help of HR analytics.
So do you use some AI tools here to capture about those bias in performance management, or is it through a survey or something else altogether?
So we have used a model. What we have done is we have first done a statistical analysis, and yes, we have used unsupervised learning to find out patterns. And once those patterns evolved, we went deep inside it and we tried to find out that what are the patterns and what are the biases that are emerging from those patterns. Then we tried to statistically establish each bias and built it into a rule engine, and we have used R for modeling that. And once we input the year's ratings, the model will churn the data based on the past learnings. It's going to give us the potential biases flagged off.
This really sounds very interesting, Amrita. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
The third question, which tools can be used for HR analytics? And if you could just give a brief on the differences of these tools.
Sure. So the tool which is there in everybody's hands and often not given that kind of an importance is Microsoft Excel. So HR analytics can always start with that. And but as and when you mature into your organizational journey of HR analytics, there are a few tools definitely we need to invest in. The first tool, I would say it's a technology. You can choose it, but what we have chosen is SAP BW or Business Warehouse. So it's the data layer. We have fragmented systems, data lying in different systems, or the data is in different format. So it is very important to pull all of those information in the same place on which your analytics can be worked out. So the first thing in the laying foundation is the visualization layer or the warehousing layer on which you can pull in data in different combinations. The second part is you need a good visualization tool, and we use Tableau, but there is also Power BI and multiple other offerings in the market. So what that helps us do is, sometimes we only don't know what chart will show the insights the way we want to. So Tableau is a very good way to play around with charts, different combinations you can see, and you can choose the optimal one to bring out the best insight or to even tell a story with the data. The third thing is R and Python. When it comes to huge volumes of data, then we need a technology more advanced. And R or Python, we can always choose. For us, we use Python. And for basic data cleaning, some operations, for visualization, we use Tableau. But for the modeling part and for advanced analytics part, then Python comes in. That, of course, comes in at the next level when your organization is a little bit more mature.
Okay, so when do we exactly move from Excel, using Excel to any of these tools that you mentioned?
So if I see our journey, we have started the journey in 2015, and it was all Excel based and database based, pulling some data from certain tables and analyzing on an Excel. But we quickly realized that if we want to do live streaming of data, share it with our stakeholders automatically real time, then Excel won't suffice. Then we invested in Tableau in the around 1.5 years later. So Tableau is already in place big time in HR Analytics. So that is, I think, a good investment to make in a visualization tool, Power BI or Tableau. And once you have started visualizing data, you have started doing advanced level of, prescriptive analytics if you want to do, then you need to go into the next level where you have to bring in a programming language also in tandem with your business warehouse layer and your Tableau layer, because those kind of predictions, those kind of machine learning algorithms are available in the libraries of that programming language, which you need to integrate back to your visualization tool and show your stakeholders.
So the last and the fourth question is, how does HR Analytics drive business value?
Yes. So HR analytics will only hold relevance if we are able to drive business value. That is very clear because it does require some kind of an investment. So the approach we take in our organization is we first start from the business problem and then work backwards rather than building an analytics solution and bringing it to the business. How does it help? We are able to tap the more critical problems the business is facing, and our design also becomes such that it is curated to solve those problems. I'll just give one example. For example, in a raw material division, the fuel cost is a very high cost, and which makes about around 70% of our total cost at RM. So we designed a solution to reduce the fuel cost through HR analytics intervention. That is one of the design examples, and through that we are modifying the behavior. We are monitoring the behavior of the operators through how they operate their machines, how they come to office, and how is their safety behavior. All these parameters taken together, how much is their tonnage. Taken together, we are able to impact that fuel efficiency, which gives us more sustainable operations and more cost effective and productive operations. So that solution is very well taken by our business because it solves a business problem.
Okay, great.